Alright, so these are my OEM lights from Ford. The tab here, the positioning tab, is flat completely on one side. And these are the LED upgrades. And this tab here comes actually double portioned on both sides, I guess, so you can do right or left. Problem with that is they don't fit in the bucket very well because of the clearance right there. So I had to take the tab off and grind one side completely flat. That is the only downside of these lights so far. I've turned them on already and tested them out. They look pretty good. I'm not sure I'm going to hook up the DLR. I may just connect that in with the actual fog light itself. But the light is a plus. I give the light a good 5 stars, but the bracket there for the 2018 F150 is, yeah, I mean, all they had to do was trim one side off. They could have saved some plastic, because with that being double wide, it doesn't fit the housing. So I'll put these in and see how they look, or how it turns out. Alright, so after doing that modification to the light alignment bracket, that thing popped in like butter. So far it looks pretty good. There's the LED, there's the OEM. Gonna turn them on and we'll see the difference. Okay, so here we go. There's the LED. You can see already, that's a lot brighter. There's the standard halogen. Another negative here we got with this light is the plug is wired backwards. So I've got to have to take the light back out and flip the pins around on it. Okay, well, we're kind of getting somewhere with it. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter when you have halogens, because 2 wires goes in and out, but on a polarized light it does. So that's where we're at. So far, I mean, like I said, the light is awesome. The light is awesome. Just a few fit issues with it. The plug being backwards and the bracket being a little bit too bulky to fit in the housing. So I'll get to the other light I haven't modified yet, and I'll show you, you know, the differences on that bracket. But I mean, you can already tell on the OEM version. So other than that, not too bad. I still do need to aim it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do the DRL deal, but we'll see. Alright, so I'm back here in my garage workshop, and just going to do a side-by-side here as we focus. So there's the OEM light, and you can see that that's like a half angled piece of flat there coming out for the alignment bracket. Okay, this is the one that I had modified. You can see I kind of had to sand down that whole side. And this is one that's not modified. And you can see that guy is too fat for that housing, for the buckets. And unless you want to cut out your bucket, which I don't want to do because I don't want to modify my truck, you got to shave that down. So what I got to do, and this is the driver's side, so this will be the passenger side. I've got to take this one off. Now there's 2 little screws, so at least they thought about, you know, screwing that piece to there. There's 2 little screws. It is plastic. If you take it off, you can sand the edge of it down. And what I did was, as we get closer in here, you can see it's kind of boxed around. Come on, focus. So what I did was I left the backing tab there. Come on. There we go. And then I just sanded that down all the way around just to give it a little bit more rigidity on there, and then just kind of sanded the edges flat with the main surface there. Now, the other thing is the plug. That was a problem. Obviously why are we not focusing? On the halogens, it doesn't matter the orientation or the polarity. However, on the LED it does, because there is a positive and a negative. So what needs to happen is, on mine I figured out that it's backwards. I need to flip it around. Now, are both of these set up the same way? Because if that's the case, I have to flip them both. Yes, they are. Positives on the right. So in order to do that, what you got to do is, as I try to get out of the light, try to get in there, and there's a little plastic tab that just locks that guy in there. I don't know if you can see it Yeah, you can see kind of down in there's a little plastic tab. You get a little tiny screwdriver or something, push that off to the side away from the metal connector, and then it pulls right out. I'm going to do that real quick and then show you just how easy that part is. Okay, so I released the two terminals. They're right there. They just pop right out. Now I'm holding the phone here with one hand, or the camera with one hand, so I will try to show you. But if you look down in there, zoom in, you see those little plastic tabs right there, right in the middle of those square holes. Those you just push them, you go like a screwdriver or something, they got a little edge, as it'll focus, and you just push them inward towards the center, and it releases the pins. So then all you got to do is, you got to make sure though that your pins stay inward. You know, where they lock in, the open part goes inward towards the center. So in this case, I'm merely going to be flipping this. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the third wire is for the daylight running light. I'm not sure if I'm even going to use that, but the fog lights themselves are pretty good. So either way, that's kind of where we're at with this. I gotta switch the plugs on both of them, and then I've got to shave this one down to basically be the same like that. So you can see. So I'll just take one screw out, loosen the other one up. It's actually open edges here, so you can slip it right out. Alright, well, if y'all have any questions, please feel free to ask.